Alright, what's going on today, YouTube? Welcome back to your favorite cyclist YouTube channel. This week, we're working on the good old trusty trainer here. But before we get into today's video, if you are new to my channel, make sure you head down below, hit that subscribe button for me. If you already are subscribed, make sure you hit that little bell icon right next to that. That way you get notified every time I upload. That way you don't miss any of these awesome cycling videos we got on this channel. So on to the video, we're working on the good old magnetic trainer. So this magnetic trainer I've had for pretty much since I had the road bike, so a long time, 6+ years. I've had this guy. Oh, let's see, 6 years? Nah, about 6 years. This trainer I've had about 6 years now. It's been through some work. It's definitely been used before I had it, and it's had some abuse given to it. Namely, the number one thing is this cable here and the housing. As you can tell, it's pretty freaking long. So this is essentially the shifter for resistance in the magnetic trainer. Pretty much as you turn this knob, the resistance increases on the trainer, therefore making it harder to pedal, getting more of a road-like feel or whatever you want to call it. But this provides you resistance, same as if you were like on a exercise bike in the gym. This is how you adjust your resistance on a magnetic trainer. This is incredibly hard to turn, and along with that, this cable housing is pretty much bent over sideways, and it's never functioned like it should. It's never been great. It's been functional and okay, but it's never been great. And of course, I've upgraded to a nicer fluid trainer now, but it's always nice to have a backup trainer, especially as it's coming up into winter, and get this fixed. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead, we're gonna pull this housing off of here, pull the old cable out. I have enough spare cables and housing that I think I can have enough to fix this and get this going again. So let's pull all this apart. It looks like it's just a bunch of Phillips screws to get this thing apart, and hopefully we get this thing fixed by the end of the video. So like I said, on here, we'll start with, go ahead with the shifter portion of it, the resistance control. We're just gonna go ahead and undo these 3 Phillips screws here, 1, 2, 3. There's one in the middle. I don't think that one's there. I'm just holding the clamp on. So we'll do those 3. And with those 3 removed, it should let us take this whole top piece off, hopefully, which then should give us access to hopefully the barrel end of this cable. So we'll get taking these out with our good old Phillips screwdriver. And let's see if it comes off. There we go. So as you can see, these little pins here, and in here, there's little grooves. So that's what provides the clicks in the turning on this and stops it in its places. So, okay, so there's that side. Don't lose those little pins. Those pins are loose. From here, I can see the end, and of course, we got 2 more Phillips screws here. So let's try and unscrew these, and hopefully this just gives us access to the actual cable so we can take it out. So we're gonna go ahead, power cable out there, slide it through the slot, and that's what we got. That's a weird looking cable. That's not what I expected to be in there, but that is, I believe, this is brake cable housing, which is what I thought it was. So I'll move over to the actual trainer portion here, and this is where the magnet is, where the magnetic trainer resistance happens here. So it looks like there are just 3 screws on this as well. So we'll just pop these screws out. I'm gonna try not to get these all mixed up to hopefully make it easier. Just gonna try and wiggle this off, maybe. Okay. So there's this off. So we're gonna try and undo this bolt right in the center here. Looks like that kind of holds everything in. So that is a 5mm, and that really went on there tight. So if you have a noise, that might be your noise. So there's another 3 screws in here. Kind of weird that I have to take these out, but let's just keep taking apart. So far it's been fairly simple. Okay, that's just that center piece. There it goes. Okay, so that piece does kind of provide have some resistance on it. So there we go. Okay, there's our middle piece, and then out pops this. What? This is a double-ended cable. What? That's bizarre. This is a very interesting setup. So it's a double-sided cable, so it has 2 ends on it. This end is, I don't know how you're expected to get this guy out though. Okay. Oh, okay, so if we kind of gotta get in there some. this needs to get moved over. And if we push it off to the side, we gotta undo this guy first. So you have your little barrel adjuster down here, so we take our barrel adjuster off. So we got it out. So it's a very interesting setup on this. So each end just it has a little knob on each end, a little cable stop. So you would almost have to buy a cable already set up for this to make it work effectively. So we're gonna fix that today and not do that. If I get this all together and just fire up the welder and put a little tack at the end, that might work. So let's go ahead. We're gonna go ahead and we're gonna cut this end off here. So that way we can get these pieces off of here. All right, that'll work there. And then what we'll do, we have my replacement brake cable housing, which is gonna be green because that's what I have extra currently. Because I've done brake cables, but I haven't had to do shifters very much. Most of them I just buy a new shifter if I replace it, so I have shifter cables still. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and match up our lengths on these, cut our new housing out, so we have the housing all set, and then we'll kind of work on our cable here, which I think I have an idea for. So our cable ends on, so that should be good. Our ends on each of them. I used a different one on this side. It's kind of a little bit longer one from Jaguar that I've had lying around. It's longer than just the standard one, you could tell. So kind of where our problem area was, where this was bending and tweaking. Hopefully with this on there, it kind of mitigates that problem and makes it less likely to happen. So that's what we're doing there, so that should work. Hopefully that works better than it did before. So from here, I'm gonna go ahead, grab our cable here. And like I said, we're going to, which end do I wanna do? This end is a lot easier to fix if something was to break. So we're going to feed everything through this side. Feed our cable stop through, and then we'll feed our cable through our housing. We'll push it all the way through, and that should be everything I think that was supposed to go on there. That's essentially how our cable's going to look. And what we're going to do is I'm going to pull out my welder and we're going to weld a little tack on the end of here, which should make ourselves a little cable stop, just like this one is, and make it work. Hopefully. Cross your fingers. Okay, so we got this whole thing together right now. That was a pain in the butt. Wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy, but that's all together now. So that's there. I am running the cable by itself right now, not using housing. That way we can make sure it's long enough. For the last one, it wasn't long enough for whatever reason, even though we measured off the old cable. So we got everything back together, made sure all the screws were tight. This middle bolt I made sure was really tight too. That was like loose. That came off really easy last time. And pretty much from there, we just gotta get this guy on. And I don't know if there's necessarily a way it goes on. This is magnetic, so if you, oh my goodness, you can feel it. Get it right. There we go. Just like that. That was kind of cool. That was kind of neat. Okay. So just like that, that goes back on. Get our 3 screws, and let's put our 3 screws back in that hold this guy on together. And then I think we throw housing on and go work up at the knob, the shifter portion, I guess. This side, assembled. So we're going to put our cable housing on. I did find an error in my ways. This cable end is too long. When you go to flip this forward, it smacks down here on the frame of this, which is stupid. So we're gonna put this on the other way. 2 hours later, after fighting with this and arguing with it and taking a lunch break, because that got me really mad, I finally got it to at least work. So as you can tell, right now, so we're in, we should call this 1 maybe, I don't know, 5, whatever you want to call it. So we got 1 click, 2 click, 3 click, 4 click, 5 click. So you have, there we go, okay. So you have all your clicks that you should have. This has 5 settings. What are you doing now? That goes to where it needs to go. Okay, 5 clicks. So it works, and I will never touch this thing again. So let's pause this video. Let's talk about what I think of this process and what I think you should do if you have one yourself. So I have worked on a lot of things that have been a pain in the butt to work on. This one I think takes the cake. From a pretty much a special cable assembly that you couldn't put together from the factory, so you must have to buy the cable as it is, so who knows how much that is. I'm not gonna look, I don't really care. From having to do that, which would include your cable housing, everything in there, because you can't take them off, I can't install new ones, so having to pretty much fabricate my own little cable by adding a little end to it. From everything like that, to then trying to get this actually adjusted so it works and trying to put it together, that probably took a long time. It probably took about an hour to figure this out. And honestly, I ended up breaking off the plastic piece here, and that's what ultimately made it work, is taking that plastic piece off. I could not get this to actually go through gears again. I don't know if that's because the cable was a little shorter or what the deal is, but it was a pain. My recommendation to you, if you have a trainer like this and something happens to your cable, I would almost say it's probably worth your time. It's probably not worth your time to just do that. A trainer like this is like 40, 50 bucks on Amazon. It's really not that much. If you value your time more than that, I would buy a new one. If you just want to tinker with stuff, you can install a new cable on yours. It's definitely possible, just a big pain. So, hopefully, maybe you learned something from this video. I got it to work. That's what I learned. I got this to work, and I now have both trainers working, finally. So, there we go. That's what I'm going to say today. That's what I'm going to say today, is I at least got it working. That's what I'm going to say. So if you did enjoy the video, give it a big thumbs up. Appreciate the support. Any comments or questions, let me know down in the comments section below. Love chatting with you guys. Love hearing what you have to say. And we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching today.